Since returning to the White House in 2025, former President Donald Trump's economic policies have already started reshaping global trade and financial landscapes. With a clear focus on protecting U.S. interests, Trump's finance policies, including tariffs, tax reforms, and deregulation, have had significant ripple effects on businesses across the world. The impact has been especially notable for multinational companies that rely on American markets, production, and supply chains. This video examines the top 10 global companies that have felt the strongest effects from Trump's U.S. finance policies, exploring both the challenges they face and the opportunities they're navigating. 1. Apple, USA. As one of the most recognizable tech giants, Apple has been significantly affected by Trump's trade policies, especially with the reimposition of tariffs on Chinese imports. Apple sources many of its components from China and assembles its products there, making it vulnerable to price hikes and delays in its supply chain. In response, Apple is considering shifting more of its production out of China, which could incur higher short-term costs but may offer long-term strategic benefits. 2. BMW, Germany. BMW, along with other European car manufacturers, has been hit hard by Trump's tariff policies, especially the threat of higher tariffs on imported cars. The U.S. market is critical for BMW, and the proposed tariffs on foreign-made vehicles could drastically affect the company's pricing strategy. To mitigate these effects, BMW may need to shift production to the U.S. or pass the cost increases on to American consumers, potentially reducing demand. 3. Toyota, Japan. Another major player in the automotive sector, Toyota is also facing potential increases in the cost of manufacturing due to tariffs and shifting trade regulations. The U.S. remains a key market for Toyota, and while the company has invested in local production, any increase in tariffs could raise the cost of imported vehicles or components, affecting profitability. Toyota will need to adjust its pricing strategy and supply chain to navigate these challenges effectively. 4. Huawei, China. Huawei, the Chinese telecommunications giant, has been at the center of trade disputes between the U.S. and China. Under Trump's economic policies, the company has been hit by severe restrictions on access to U.S. technology and markets. The impact has been felt globally, as Huawei faces challenges in securing critical software and hardware components from American firms. As a result, the company has had to invest heavily in developing its own alternatives, although these efforts may delay its global expansion plans. 5. Nestlé, Switzerland. As one of the world's largest food and beverage companies, Nestlé has found itself caught in the crossfire of Trump's trade policies. The reimposition of tariffs on agricultural products and raw materials from global markets has raised production costs for Nestlé. Moreover, any changes to food labeling and regulatory standards in the U.S. could force the company to adjust its product lines and marketing strategies to maintain compliance with new rules. 6. Volkswagen, Germany. Volkswagen, similar to BMW, has faced challenges due to the U.S. tariffs on foreign-made vehicles. While the company has a significant U.S. production base, tariffs on imported vehicles could increase the cost of selling vehicles in the U.S., which remains one of its most profitable markets. Volkswagen's strategy may involve increasing local production to sidestep tariff barriers or investing in electric vehicles, which are less impacted by trade tensions. 7. Amazon, USA. While Amazon is a U.S.-based company, its global operations have been significantly impacted by Trump's policies on e-commerce, taxation, and trade. The increase in tariffs on imported goods affects Amazon's pricing strategies, particularly in electronics and other imported items. Additionally, regulatory scrutiny of big tech firms has escalated under the Trump administration, with more aggressive stances on anti-competitive practices and data privacy. As a result, Amazon is navigating increasing pressure both in its U.S. and international markets. 8. Samsung, South Korea. As a major player in the consumer electronics and semiconductor industries, Samsung has been affected by both tariff policies and trade restrictions. The U.S. is a key market for Samsung's smartphones and other technology products, but the imposition of tariffs and restrictions on semiconductor exports has impacted its pricing structure and profitability. Samsung is shifting some of its production outside of China to avoid tariffs, but this transition requires significant investment and time. 9. BP, United Kingdom. Trump's energy policies, particularly those favoring domestic oil and gas production, have had a complex effect on BP, which is one of the world's largest energy companies. While U.S. energy independence benefits BP's exploration and production efforts, the rollback of environmental regulations and reduced restrictions on oil extraction have led to concerns about global environmental standards. BP's strategy has involved balancing investment in sustainable energy sources while adapting to Trump's policies that favor fossil fuels. 10. Siemens, Germany. Siemens, a leading global engineering company, has felt the impacts of Trump's finance policies in various ways, particularly due to tariffs on industrial machinery and raw materials. The company's extensive global supply chain has been disrupted by trade barriers and the reorganization of U.S. trade agreements. Siemens is focusing on adjusting its pricing models and exploring more localized production to maintain its market position. Trump's U.S. finance policies have created both challenges and opportunities for global companies, with impacts ranging from increased production costs to shifts in global supply chains. The businesses listed above are just a few examples of how multinational companies are navigating a rapidly changing economic environment influenced by U.S. policy. Whether it's adapting to tariffs, shifting production strategies, or responding to regulatory changes, these companies will need to remain agile and innovative to survive in the evolving global market. As Trump's economic policies continue to unfold, businesses across the world will likely need to reconsider their financial strategies to stay competitive.